Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide for today's explainer. If you're the kind of person who loves to learn efficiently and dives straight into the good stuff, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're opening up a real mystery box. We're going to travel way back in time to the sands of ancient Egypt, but we're keeping our gaze directed firmly upward, right at the stars. The theories we're unpacking today present a highly speculative, honestly just fascinating look at antiquity, and I seriously cannot wait to decode this whole thing with you. Okay, let's dive into this. Were the pharaohs from Mars? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, doesn't it? But actually, this exact question is the wild, provocative premise sitting right at the very heart of the research we're examining today. We're going to unpack the specific theories and texts that dare to ask if our earthly history might just have a distinctly extraterrestrial chapter. Section 1. The Martian Connection. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the foundational claim it makes, and wow, it is staggering. Some researchers believe the absolute majesty and power of the ancient pharaohs wasn't just about earthly dominance at all. No, they argue it was tied to a literal Mars connection. And here is the kicker. This connection wasn't just some spoken folklore passed down around a fire. According to this theory, it was physically encoded into the very architecture of their tombs. The stones themselves, they argue, are actually hiding a celestial secret. Moving on to Section 2, Deciphering the Number 9. To understand exactly how this cosmic encoding works, we look to researcher Dr. Ruth Hover, who's basically acting as our lead decoder for these ancient monuments. So the crucial point is the number 9. This single digit is the absolute core of our structural findings. It isn't just a random measurement, or some decorative motif. The number 9 acts as the mathematical anchor for this entire theory. It repeats in the tomb architecture in ways that researchers argue simply cannot be mere coincidence. And that brings us to what's known as the Martian Cipher. Dr. Hover defines this as a hidden message associated directly with the planet Mars. This is exactly how a simple architectural measurement, that recurring number 9, transforms from a neat little curiosity into an intentional cipher. It gives a structured analytical framework to a highly speculative concept, allowing us to see exactly what the researchers claim to have found encoded right there in the stone. All right, Section 3, Interplanetary Majesty. With the cipher defined, what does this actually imply about the ancient world? Let's move to and see how this builds. The Martian Cipher and Interplanetary Majesty. That concept beautifully reflects the sheer ambition of these theories. These researchers are attempting to take the earthly royalty of the pharaohs and totally elevate it. They're suggesting a level of power and knowledge that extends far beyond the borders of the Nile and shoots directly into the wider cosmos. To ground this massive, highly speculative investigation, researchers pinpoint the rulers of 2000 BC as the exact focal point for this interplanetary theory. Just think about why this matters for a second. 4,000 years ago, long before modern astronomy, let alone spaceflight as we know it, this specific era of ancient Egyptian history is acting as the chronological anchor for these incredibly far-reaching cosmic claims. Which brings us to Section 4, Travelers or Survivors. So, if they really were connected to Mars, how exactly did that connection manifest? And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate dichotomy regarding their true, startling origins. Remember, we're just exploring these concepts neutrally here, not taking sides. But the researchers lay out two pretty extreme hypotheses. On one hand, were these ancient rulers encoding the number 9 to celebrate a newfound ability to launch off Earth and actually travel to Mars? Just let that sink in. Or, alternatively, an entirely different but equally massive theory proposes they weren't travelers from Earth at all. Instead, they were the direct descendants of alien survivors fleeing a dying, shattering red planet. When we summarize this 2000 BC narrative, we really have to appreciate the sheer scale of the theories we're looking at. Did ancient humans invent space travel, literally millennia before the Wright brothers even took flight? Or were the pharaohs alien refugees starting over on Earth? You gotta admit, it is quite the monumental leap. I mean, one minute you're quietly measuring the base of a stone tomb, and the next you're theorizing about escaping the crumbling atmosphere of Mars. But honestly, that is exactly the fascinating, totally boundary-pushing scope of the research we've been unpacking today. All of this leads us to our final, provocative question. Is the interplanetary majesty of the pharaohs the ultimate proof of a Martian legacy? The source material leaves us with an absolutely incredible mystery to mull over. I really hope this journey into antiquity has left you eager to keep questioning conventional history, to keep learning, and to keep pondering humanity's deep-rooted, and perhaps literal, connection to the stars. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.